leaf cleanup season is finally over. Now that we can actually see the grass, let's get an update on our no-till lawn renovation, see how it is going into winter. During the last update, this was the best looking patch. Being on a north slope and shaded by the canopy over here, this one germinated the best. You can see it's filled in and looking quite amazing. As we rotate around, all of this was killed off and reseeded with that no-till method. And this was one of the spots that was struggling the most before fall here. And if we take a close-up, none of this had germination in it, but now we've got some young bluegrass in there. And I know in spring, when we get more temperature next summer, we get some growing, this will fill in very nicely. So we're off to a great start for this year. If we continue around, we see we got good germination in all of the no-till spots. It's not as thick as I'd like, but the first year for bluegrass, you have to be extremely patient as it takes some time to mature and fill in. We can see this is one of the other spots that struggled with germination, and going into fall, in the staying cooler temperatures at night and during the day allowed this to remain wet, unlike in midsummer, and we got germination. Even in these bare spots, we've got enough here. We're going into next growing season. We should have a really good start and should fill in nicely. Along the side here is another large piece of lawn, and we can see it's filling in nicely. It's looking way better than the renovation I did last year, so I've got high hopes for next year. This particular piece of ground I renovated last year in September, so it's just over 12 months old, and it's finally starting to really come into its own. Next year should be really good for this plot. But if we take a look at what this looked like going into fall and even spring of this year, it did not look good. So I've got high hopes for my other no-till lawn renovation where I've converted to 100% bluegrass. It's gonna look even better than this next year. It just takes time with nature. You gotta be patient. There's no magic sprinkle dust or what have you to make your lawn renovation go faster. You just have to work with nature, and that's one of the reasons most commercial lawn seed mixes do not have just bluegrass in them, because it takes a while for it to mature and fill in nicely. They say 24 months to fully mature, but after 12 months you're off to a great start. Things are looking really good. The first 6 months is a little rough though. We can take a look at the rest of the lawn renovation I did last year going into the front yard here. Even this spring there was a lot of bare spots that needed to fill in, but this is looking quite good. We still have a few bare spots here. I know with some plugging or reseeding I could get those filled in this year. I wanted to see how this bluegrass would do on its own, and during really good growing conditions it definitely fills in on its own without needing an overseed or plugging. I think after next growing season this should be filled in completely, all those bare spots taken care of. Unfortunately, this lawn care season is over. Our temperatures have fallen off a cliff. We were in the 60s during the day. It was very pleasant up until mid-November here. And now it looks like our daytime highs are going to be in the 30s, back to reality, I guess. I hope my no-till lawn renovation series here has given you some ideas that what you could apply to your lawn. Do not continue to struggle with a grass species that isn't fit for your particular spot. You can change it. No-till. Obviously, our chances for doing it this year are over and done with, but you can plan for spring. Springtime is also a great time to do it. Thanks for watching. Adios.